through a full work day. And you just plug in later that day or at night, and you go to sleep, and then wake up and you donated some hours of work, and it helps you maybe overcome some great disease. Like, for example, I heard that there was
Can I help you?
It was now possible to refresh protein to get them energized again, and that could also help against diseases like Alzheimer. I'm not quite sure what it's called in English, but basically where you forget everything and be like a total idiot, and when you get too old, which is basically just our brain being too old for our body. Like, for example, well, you have to take into consideration our body was our whole life was designed around being or living for around 40 years. So everything was designed around that. Our teeth, things, everything starts to fall apart after 40. The big issues become clear after 40. And so, with the new medicine, though, we got to the point where some dudes... I actually heard a few days ago from a guy who's 168 years old. He doesn't move anymore. He's in meditation, but everything still grows, and everything, he still has some blood flowing through his veins, so technically he's still alive. He's not conscious though, which is rather strange, but he's a spiritual leader, so I don't know, maybe he has died and he's basically just still have something pumping in it. I don't know, but we were never designed to live that long, and so our brain starts to fall apart at around 60. Again, depends on the people we are dealing with. Actually, this ghost is still here. Kind of cool. That depends on everybody, but we were designed for... You bring news? So.
Ore will be deeply missed by my people, but the story of your courage in the face of evil will inspire them.
Okay. So we are done with Nagran. By the way. Rather good. So yeah, that's... I just wanted to make you aware. If you have a powerful smartphone, definitely consider it. It doesn't hurt you that much, and you will maybe you're gonna benefit in the later stages of your life from it.
Time is money, friend.
And I even heard, but I still think that's impossible.
Right back.
With that technique I just described to you earlier, it's supposed to be possible that, like, you basically refresh these proteins, and they you can take the blood, and in the blood there's some proteins and shit. You can refresh these, re-energize, so they increase the cell splitting abilities of your body. I think it's called like that. I'm just translating it word to word from German, which is usually false, but I don't know. I guess you know what I mean. It just refreshes your blood, so it actually creates new cells. And in theory, that should enable us to live forever. Because what happens with our organs and our body is well, sometimes you just get too old, or some part is basically just dead and cannot regenerate. Every cell in our body has a specific amount of well, basically, you can just generate so many cells in your life. This is actually the Robin Williams Island, by the way. You can just generate so many cells. That's different for each person, but there is this limit. And once you hit that limit, you cannot generate any more cells. And then that's explaining why older people don't heal as fast as we do. For example, when I get a cut, it heals within 2 or 3 days. When my grandma gets a cut, it does take over a week. So that's kind of the explanation. And once you, if you could actually refresh that would enable us. Like, for example, if you, cancer is still gonna be a problem, but like the naturals of death, which is organic dysfunction. Like your organs getting too old, having done so much, so worn out that they just give up or cannot handle their task properly. If you could re-energize that, with that techniques theoretically possible, you can last forever as long as you don't get cancer. Which is still a big issue, which is probably gonna end most of our life. But in Fury you defeated one way of dying, and the most natural thing of dying is defeated with that. And I found that to be pretty impressive. I don't want to live forever, and we won't, because
you need something.
Have an accident and you're dead anyway, or you get cancer.
Careful.
But
what can I do?
The sheer possibility of defeating brain diseases that come with being too old is still reason enough for me to definitely go after that. And ALS could be stopped with that as well. I mean, it would be really good. We have to play it a bunch of times. It could be really good, and why not try it? And we need to get more resources onto that part, not spend any more on this shit on war and shit. That's just pointless. We need to get more more research going. It's probably the most important thing in our current days. And I'm going to guarantee you a future once we got healthy and we basically got rid of most of our problems. I guess this is not the way I'm supposed to go. If we get rid of all of our problems, I assure you, and we start giving other people our medicine because we are just too much, or we just have enough. We don't need anything more. We start sharing that. Most of the problems in the world will go away. I know it sounds stupid at first, but most of the problems are religious, but at least the majority of problems are. We could heal the hunger in the world. I mean, it does. If we could heal that, a big problem would be gone. And that's actually rather inspiring to know that we have the ability to change that, but we need some researchers to get over our own problems so we can help other people with their problems. That's just how it works usually. And again, some religious problems will never go away, but these guys are just too stupid to see that basically every religion... I don't want to offend anyone. Sorry, but I don't want to offend everyone, but this is my opinion. Almost every religion in this world tells basically the same thing, from what I've seen and what I've heard. Basically everybody does pray the same. I guess I was on the wrong path. Everybody just tells you that there's some kind of god, sometimes multiple, that loves you and that wants to help you out. And every religion tells you to love your next. Every real religion, not these kind of twisted IS things that try to threaten everybody and use their religion as an excuse for that. Abuse their religion as an excuse for that, but in reality this is not the religion. This is not how it works. This is not what the religion tells people. They just twisted it and told people otherwise because people were too stupid, or I don't know. They're freaking crazy. No religion tells you to slay other people. It always tells to help everybody. What the fuck? So there's that. I just wanted to make that a little clear. And so as soon as people realize they're just basically believing in the same thing, although it has different names and shit, and you definitely have different cultures, well, with the internet and shit. We're gonna get rid of that as well eventually. We're all basically... I'm speaking English, although it's not my birth language. Or not my natural language. We will get over cultural differences as well, and in the end it's gonna work out for everybody. And that's what I wanted to tell you. In the end, once we cooperate a little bit more, we will work out something that's good for everybody. And we don't even have to worry about, with the technological improvements, we won't have to worry about work too much anymore too. Since our machines are going to do the work for us. Like, it's always starting now. Some people get fired, unfortunately, but it has to happen. Because a machine can replace them and can do something as good or better than the man can. Once we get to a specific point where we don't need to work at all, we will just transfer over to a state where we can all work and we don't have to work anymore, or we can all focus on things that we like. And don't expect any sort of payment. Money is a non-issue at that point. And that's... I think that's a really good future to be looking at. Where money isn't a problem anymore. And again, once that swaps over to the less fortunate countries, it's gonna help them too. Priest.
What are we without the sky? Keep to the shadows. This curse has not broken me yet.
That's great for you, bro. We do have to get something else though, but let's just... Oh, there's some Shattered Hand shit. Okay. I was wondering when we're going to see that. Shattered Hand orcs. Yeah, once we get rid of these cultural difficulties and we finally get to debate, or finally get to the point where we are talking over stuff that's going wrong instead of just shooting each other, we're definitely gonna improve, and everybody's probably going. I know that sounds very fairy tale stuff, but oh, this looked like Neverwing Axe. But once we get over that, we will live in peace. As stupid as it may sound, but there is a possibility that we're all gonna live in peace, without wars and hunger to worry about. And I'm looking forward to it. But it does take some effort from all of us. I have to get rid of all cultural differences. At first, that's probably the most important. Get rid of racism and shit like that. That's just pointless. Or let everybody live the way he wants to live. Someone needs to be homosexual, gay. It's their problem, or not problem at all. It's their thing. Just you see. Just ask yourself. Because of that fact, is he as dumb or a bad person? Just because he likes man or woman other than the preferred one? Well, it's still not really normal, because obviously a man and a man cannot create a child. And that's what sexuality used to be all about, but it's not that big of a deal anymore. We are at a point where reproducing is not really an issue. Or, well, for our country actually it is. For if we could get rid of dying, or mostly dying, if we could get rid of a bunch of diseases, then we are at the point where we don't really need to worry about reproducing. And so, if they want to live gay, then they should live gay.